through the Internal Affairs Board, had already issued a show cause order for him to explain the allegations that have been exposed in not only the hearing but also the affidavit of Ramil Madriaga. So this is something that we will pursue to make sure that yung integrity ho no ng ating opisina ay nandun pa rin. So we will make sure na yung mga ganyang kwento, we get to the bottom of it, understand kung ano talaga nangyari, and then we will resolve on that basis. So meron po kasi tayong ano dito may proseso tayo, yung Internal Affairs Board that is in charge or is tasked with the responsibility of disciplining the employees and officers of the Office of the Ombudsman. So, dun po tayo dadaan.
What about kay former Ombudsman Martires? May way pa ba para mag-verify if indeed it was true or make him accountable kung sakaling mapatunayan man yun? Or
Yeah, accountability will come once we are able to figure out kung ano talaga ang nangyari. No? So, obviously, it's a grave allegation. It's something that we believe is worth looking into. However, the allegations as against Attorney Ryan Kilala from our monitoring of the impeachment hearing seems to be much deeper. Tapos may mga pictures pa, may mga video. So, yun po yung inuna natin ngayon. Nag-issue nga tayo ng show cause order sa kanya. Yung kay former Ombudsman Samuel Martires, that is something that we are also discussing internally.
pero sir, yung anong status ni Attorney Kilala? He's still coming to the office right now or he's...
I believe so. I believe so.
So kahit sir na may show cause order, he can still come to the office?
Yeah, yung show cause order po kasi parang ano yan we are asking him to explain kung ano yung side niya or defense niya dun sa mga allegations no na linabas ni Ramil Madriaga. Yes. Good to see you here.
Hi, hello sir. Okay, Maris, umali po,
GMA News. How do you assess, sir, the Madriaga's credibility now, considering that there was inconsistency between his new affidavit and his earlier sworn statement in 2025? And is this sufficient basis to proceed with or to dismiss the case?
Sige, I'll address the first question about the credibility. I believe that the Office of the Ombudsman needs to have an opportunity to observe his demeanor when the time comes. No? Right now, he is showing up at the house and we will allow them to do their own questioning there first before we come in. Pero I believe the credibility will be seen more so when we are able to have a face-to-face with him. As to your second,
Yung with regards to the sufficient basis
Yeah.
for you to proceed with or to dismiss the case?
well, obviously the hearing is ongoing. We received the subpoena today regarding the hearing on the 22nd. I believe that's next Wednesday, no? And we will be there to offer whatever information that we have to the House Committee. And siguro we'll go from there.
Sir, you mentioned that you will judge it based on your face-to-face meeting with him.
Yung credibility
Yung
mo.
credibility
Yes.
niya. When do you plan to meet with him if ever there is such plan?
Perhaps after the hearings are conducted, we will allow them first to discuss and to talk to Ramil Madriaga. After which, kasi ayaw din namin magulo, no? Na nandyan na nga siya, nagte-testify ho siya sa house, tapos kami din. So it might be a little bit confusing for Mr. Madriaga. So uunahin muna natin or papaunahin natin yung house, tsaka natin siya kakausapin.
Just for the record, prior to the show cause order, ano yung status ng initial affidavit ni Madriaga dito sa Ombudsman? Has a formal investigation been initiated during that time? And prior to this show cause order na po, was it under evaluation if there is such a thing in the first place?
Yung the complaints that were filed by the various groups, one by Senator Trillanes, the other by a CSO, and the other referred by the House, were all consolidated. And so the affidavit that was referred to us also by the lawyer of Mr. Madriaga, affidavit lang yun hindi naman siya complaint. We just added that also to the records of the consolidated case. And that consolidated case is now under fact-finding.
So during that time, it was not investigated because it is just an affidavit and not a complaint?
Yes, correct.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Sir Lance po from Newswatch Plus. Sir, last year din, no, there were plunder complaints or cases filed against Vice President Sara Duterte over the 612.5 million confidential funds alleged misuse. And during the hearing po, there were some damning accusations about the confidential funds. For example, the 125 million was disposed now in just one day, which is the basis or part of the basis to plunder case against VP Sara. So, paano po yun magiging matimbang doon sa magiging investigasyon ng Ombudsman doon sa kaso na yun versus the Vice President?
I think related ho yan sa question ni Maris na it will go into the credibility of the witness. Siya pa lang naman ang nagsabi noon di ba? We were relying on previous statements where the allegation was 11 days. Now, naiba ho yung kwento, naging 24 hours na. But again, only one person has said that. And despite it being under oath, because it was said in the hearing, the credibility still is something that we have to, I guess, really look into and make sure of.
But sir, how about the disallowed funds? Kasi the Commission on Audit already ordered the Vice President or the OVP to return 73.2 million. So, yun po ba, since Commission on Audit na yung nagsabi, magiging matimbang po ba yun dun sa kaso against the
In
Vice
terms
President?
of probative value, matimbang ho yun. But I just have to mention na hindi pa namin nakakuha, wala pa kaming kopya nung memo na yon.
Sir, good afternoon po. Yanes Kabanti, GMA News Online. Sir, onting follow-up lang kay Attorney Kilala. Ano ba siya? Kasama ba siya dun sa mga asked to render courtesy resignation?
Hindi siya
or
kasama
hindi
doon.
po?
Hindi siya kasama doon. Oo. Yung the list that we produced for the courtesy resignation were those that experienced a jump right before we came in. I think we gave a 6-month period prior to the assumption of the now Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Prior to that, tignan namin yung mga promotions and new hires. Yun lang yung naging basehan nung ating courtesy resignation. So now with this, it's a completely separate issue, no? So hindi na natin pag-usapan yung courtesy resignation, tapos na ho yun. We've gotten over that hump. Now, this is a completely different issue. Serious allegations have been made in public, and it is incumbent upon him now to answer the show cause order that was issued by the IAB.
Sir, what's the magiging consequence for him in the event na you find him guilty of what Madriaga is?
Medyo plenary po yung powers kasi ng IAB It can even ripen into a criminal case. No? There were instances before that even an overall deputy ombudsman was dismissed from service. I think that is in the case of si Warren Leong. No? Dati siyang ODO, tapos na-dismiss siya. It's still pending in court now, pero that just goes to show kung gaano ka powerful din ang IAB in the way that it disciplines the rank and file here in the office.
Sir, on another topic lang. Sir,
Ay, teka. Any other questions regarding before we move on? Okay na tayo.
Sir, on flood control lang, sir.
Sorry, clarification lang sir, just very short clarification. Sabi niyo po kanina, dun sa April 22, you will be there. Does that mean na confirm na si Ombudsman Remulla will appear at the April 22 meeting?
He expressed his intention to appear. Yes.
Okay, yun lang po.
Sir, on the flood control cases
Okay.
lang po, nasabi kasi ni Ombudsman na ngayong tag-init-init.
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
we'll just like to ask for updates. Meron na po bang cases na ipa-file for this month? And against whom? Kasi na-mention before, Gabonada,
Yes.
Senator Escudero, former Speaker Romualdez. Meron na po bang timeline? At least for this month.
The specific instructions is not to give a timeline to make sure that we are not bound by them, no? Kasi ang gusto talaga namin ay quality over any specific timeline that we may give. Pero malapit na ho yan, malapit na ho. There are senators, congressmen, and yung dalawa pong masterminds nung or master plunderers na sinasabi ni Ombudsman, that's all in the works.
Sir, the two master plunderers are public officials, not necessarily.
Yung binanggit po ni Ombudsman dati, yung former speaker and the former Senate President.
Describe siya ni Ombudsman as master plunderers.
Sila po yung nandun sa taas.
Okay, sir. So, sir, yung yesterday lang, kasi we were there in Pandi, Bulacan, walang structure. So, what does it say about the prosecution's case against former Senator Revilla po?
I wish I could answer, pero that would fall under the sub judice rule. Although we did monitor the news nga, and nakita nga doon, and it was made public, that the infrastructure project that was supposed to be there ay wala talaga. So that's all I can really say about that. I would be crossing boundaries if I were to give an analysis of it.
Sir, follow-up lang din yung sinasabi mo kasi before na may hiningi kayong salin sa House of Representatives around 26. May panibago bang batch, sir, or so far yun lang muna?
We are still waiting for the salin of Juan Ponyong Gabonada. That is the one that we want, and that is the one that we will proceed on. The second batch is being prepared, as far as we know. But yung first 26, we have already assigned them to the investigative teams to do lifestyle checks as well as further investigation. Ito po yung mga contractor na sinasabi ho natin. So the 26 salins that we were able to obtain are a result of intelligence that we received that certain congressmen are also contractors and by law are prohibited from owning contracting firms that deal directly with the government.
So, sir, Ponyong, Mr. Gabonada, and the 26 so far.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay na? Ayun ba?
Sir Rod Lagusan from PTV. Yung regarding sir sa contractors, can you identify them, sir?
No, not yet. Not yet. We will at a later time. No? But all of those that you have heard of on media before, nandun yun. I can assure you na yung mga in-expose ho natin dati ay nandun din.
With regards sir sa lifestyle check, what are we hoping na makita po na magiging red flag for you to proceed?
I mean, first and foremost, we will look at the SALN and see if they have declared their interests in the companies that we believe are contracting companies that have had contracts with the government. That will first and foremost show that there is a conflict of interest. Pangalawa, titignan ho natin yung disproportionate or the disproportion between what they actually have and what they have declared. And that is subject to another type of remedy na under RA 1379 or the civil forfeiture for public officers. No? It is an easier route for us dahil yung 1379 po, mas yung burden to show that they have declared everything and that all their assets are truly theirs is shifted to them. Unlike in a civil forfeiture case under AMLAC rules, the burden is on the prosecution or on the government to show na the proceeds are actually from illegal means. So, gagamitin natin yon. Yun yung purpose ng SALN.
Sir TJ Mendoza from Net25. Turn over na po ng ICI yung mga luxury vehicles po ni Bryce Hernandez dito. Can we, or maybe know po ano po yung specific na gagawin po ng Ombudsman kasi sinasabi po ni Edie Hosaka na it's up to the Ombudsman.
We want to preserve yung yung value nung dalawang kotse. We believe na yung isa 35 million ata yung Lamborghini, yung isa 18 million naman yung Denali. So, to be able to preserve that amount para maibalik po sa gobyerno, we want to sell the property or the vehicles. But we're still finding the legal mechanism to do so kasi ang nangyari dito, yung nabenta na ng gobyerno yung ibang mga kotse yung Diskaya dahil may nahanapan na mali doon sa importation papers. No? Kaya naging part po yan ng customs jurisdiction. Ito naman, yung dalawa, wala namang nahanap problema sa customs. Pero voluntarily, binalik ho siya ni Bryce Hernandez sa ICI. So technically speaking, the cars are still under the name of Bryce Hernandez, but turned over yung custody sa ICI and now nasa ombudsman. Kaya we're looking at any legal remedy that can help us sell the property, preserve the amount, and perhaps consign it in court once there's a court proceeding.
Sir, follow up lang dun sa mga ICI documents na
Yes,
turn
opo.
over na po dito. Ano na pong movement dun, sir?
We've gathered quite a few things from the ICI documents. A lot of it are copies, kaya siguro umabot ng 200 na megaboxes. Pero we're able to sift through with the use of AI kung ano talaga ang relevant sa amin. But we are careful to make sure that the use of AI is still human-centered. So kailangan pa rin i-verify ng mga tao natin dito, ng mga abogado natin dito, yung contents talaga nung mga kopya at mga transcripts, mga records and whatnot you have in the files.
Sir, naging helpful ba yung mga documents na turn over na dito ng ICI? Ano po yung bagong nakita niyo dun sa mga?
Yung not everything is useful kasi marami rin silang nasabina na extra papers. Kumbaga parang sinabina nila yung buong record pero ang talagang hinahanap nila isang parte lang. And there are a lot of examples like that, no? So we want to make sure that we extract what is useful and make sure na ma-preserve natin yung information na yun. All the rest, of course, fluff na yun. Hindi na yun necessary or absolutely necessary sa investigation namin.
Sir, yung mga closed door interviews nila dati or yung mga hearings na hindi sinabi sa publiko, na-turn over po ba yung mga kopya na yun dito sa ombudsman?
I believe so. Yung mga transcript po ng mga closed-door interviews nila ay nandito na.
And gagamitin din po ba natin yun? Ano pong movement dun sa ginagawa natin investigation?
Oh, of course, that will be a good source of information if ever may makita kami doon na magagamit. No? Pero just like I said, not everything is useful. They did a lot. Marami silang nakuhang dokumento, but not everything is absolutely necessary for the cases.
Sir, last na lang sa akin.
Opo.
Since nasa custody niyo na rin yung mga transcript, willing ba ang ombudsman na isa publiko po yung mga naging pagdinig ng ICI?
Bakit po? Ano po yung magiging use nun? Para
Kasi
i-public?
dati, sir, di ba may nagkaroon po ng
Yes, yung public clamor. We understand. Gets namin yun. And we're really trying to balance ho, no? Yung the right of the people to be informed of everything or the investigations, but also the integrity of our investigation here. And I think the ombudsman's thrust is very apparent and very clear that we want to be as transparent as possible. But it comes with a caveat na if it borders on the integrity already of our investigations, we will hold off. No? Kasi there are a lot of people who get ahead of themselves. Maraming tao dyan ay malisyoso din ang pag-iisip. Baka gamitin pa yung mga documents, na, as I mentioned, napakarami nun, no? To twist certain facts. Kami naman dito, ang gusto lang talaga namin, matumbok po yung katotohanan. So, we will, if the public will allow us and understand our plight na to keep our information tight muna as we go through the investigation. But we will make certain things public along the way. Huwag kayo mag-alala. Especially when the cases have been filed, malalaman na ho talaga natin yan lahat. Okay. Maraming salamat.